boats. If there was ever a time a captain should have disobeyed orders from company, Coast Guard, oil company, should have been dead.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully talk some sense into these people. They were following the book, the contingency plan. We fire drill every week on these boats. And I bring up the question, we go through the drill. We're going to fight the fire. We're going to stop the flow, to put out the fire. And then we have a meeting after. And I always bring it up, especially to the new crew members, and ask them, well, why not just sink the boat to put out the fire? Then, that would be the easiest and quickest way to do it. And they kind of look at me and they kind of, it makes them think. And that's what the meetings are about, the safety meetings.
Okay, Don, here's what I want you to do so I can understand. Tell me what happened and what you would have done differently.
Oh, when the thing would have been, because after the blowout, after they kicked that gas out, the gas got on the floor and some spark that could have been somebody dropped a hammer on a pipe and created that spark for the explosion, initial explosion. But the contingency plan on every rig or boat is to fight the fire. And in that situation, that's the last thing you want to do. The contingency plan should have been to keep that rig afloat at all costs.
Okay, I was under the understanding that the explosion is what eventually made the rig sink.
No. The rig was sunk by the supply boats throwing water. I don't know what size their monitors was.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been 5,000-10,000 gallons per minute. Was thrown on that rig for a couple of days, and it started to lift. Because those pontoons were below the fire. And the contingency plan should have been to keep those pontoons dewatered, dry. That rig would have remained floating. The floor would have melted, but then the riser would have been above. And that fire would still be burning, and whether it burns for 9 days, 90 days, or 190 days, until it can stop the flow. They wouldn't have had a drop of water in the oil. They wouldn't have a drop of oil in the water at this time.
All right, Don. Appreciate your thoughts, and I guess all that's going to come out in an investigation and will help us maybe to prevent this type of crisis from happening.
Even if the rig did sink, which it did, if you put enough heat on anything, it will burn. So if they would have relit the fire at the source immediately, what is bubbling from the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico as it reached the surface would have ignited. I mean, that's a fact. You can put enough heat on any material God has ever made, and it will burn.
Well, I'm at a terrible disadvantage here because I have no clue on what this is all about as far as what can be done and what not can be done when something is on fire, because it's just beyond my expertise. I guess my question is this: what I'm trying to understand here is, obviously that captain said it, you said it. If that is common knowledge, why wouldn't it have been done?
I have no idea, because I'm a captain on an emergency response team at a refinery across the lake. And the first thing that we learn in command and control, this is from Texas A&M's fire school at Texas A&M College in College Station. The first thing they tell you is if you cannot put or disable the source of the fuel, do not put the fire out. Let it burn. That's the first thing they tell you. So they should have let it burn, and when it went out, when the rig went underwater, they could have relit it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I'm telling you, Mr.
Well, how could they relight it if it's sinking to the bottom?
The oil is on top of the water.
Okay, all right.
I've seen diesel fuel poured in water, a whole lot more water than diesel fuel, and you take basically an acetylene torch and put it to it, and it will light.
Well, Tony, I appreciate the input, and I guess all we can do right now is let BP focus all its attention